Morning. My name is Shi, and what's your name?
Hey, I'm Suyash.
Hi, Suyash. So I'll be conducting an interview with you today. Before we start a conversation, I'm just trying to let you know that what we will be discussing today will be highly confidential, and I won't be allowed to disclose this information to anybody else, what we discuss to anybody else, unless I'll get your permission first. So you don't have to worry about that. Unless our conversation involves a safety reason, a safety situation, like life-threatening situation, then at that point I might need to disclose the conversation to my supervisor or any other party for safety reason. But other than that, you don't have to worry about information being shared to other people. And also I want to let you know that in today's session, it will be judgment-free. So nobody is here to judge you, and I'll be here. I'm only here to collaborate and to learn, as well. So you can feel free to talk about your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, your perspectives on anything that you want to talk about. So yeah, you can open up yourself and feel free to speak it out. And during the conversation, I'll be taking some notes as well, if you are okay with this.
Yeah, that's all right.
Cool, Suyash. So let's just first talk about what do you want to discuss with me today.
So, basically, after the pandemic and everything, basically my company, they were having a financial hardship, so they were cutting off some staff members. So among those unfortunate staff members, I was one of them, and I lost my job, and now currently I'm looking for a new job, and basically I don't have any like source of income. I applied to few jobs, but like all of them have been rejecting me. So yeah, basically that with some other, like, I've been having like hard times with my family as well, because I'm the only income source for my family, and like now I've not been able to provide for my family either. So basically, like, because of that, I'm starting to have some sort of, like, I'm basically having a hard time with my family as well, and it's making me really sad. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Right. So let's just we just elaborate about this a bit more. So you're feeling a bit unhappy right now, feeling a bit sad right now, and would you say that is because, due to what you just said, because you recently lost a job, and that you used to be the one providing for your family, and now you just since you lost a job and you find it very difficult to provide for your family?
Yeah.
Is that the main source of your unhappiness right now?
That is one of the reason, and finding a new job is like, it has been very stressful for me, like constantly getting like rejections from like all the places that I try to get the job at.
Yeah.
It's been really stressful, and basically that adding on to like some other stuff with family, which like includes me having some arguments with my partner, as well as, like, after I lost my job, basically like I started feeling like I'm not able to provide for my family. So
yeah.
I basically started having arguments with my partner as well for the same reason. So basically everything is making me a bit sad, like making me sad because, yeah, everything.
I see. So since you talk, so first I'm sorry to hear that you recently lost a job. I guess it's sort of, a difficult time for you to go through right now, and what you yeah, it's totally understandable. And how about we talk about a little bit more about what's going on between you and your partner, because you just mentioned something that you started getting into an argument with your partner, and you said for the same reason, but then would you be able to elaborate a little bit more? What exactly is the argument about? Can you explain it a little bit more?
Well, ever since I lost my job, I have been applying for a lot of jobs,
Yeah.
but I've been getting rejected by like all of them.
Okay.
And every time I come back home, my partner asks me like if I got the job, and the constant like this constant adds pressure to finding a new job as well. And since I cannot find a new job, I get more stressed from it. And basically, like the other day, she even told me that she wanted to ask one of her friends if she can help me find a job, and I basically felt like I cannot provide for the family, which made me even sadder. So basically, all of this all of this somehow turned out like it started turning into arguments, and that's how I started having some arguments with my partner as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned something that the main reason why you are arguing with your partner is because of her asking you repeatedly that the situation you have right now, like how you're going with the job application and everything, and how exactly does it make you feel? Like you obviously you get into some argument with your partner, but then what does it make you feel?
It just adds on to the pressure that I'm having. I feel like I'm not able to provide constantly, and I just want to be left alone, and like I just want to work on my own pace. But my partner constantly asking me if I feel like I'm unable to provide every time, and I feel more and more unhappy about the situation that I'm in.
All right. So it's my understanding is that you are feeling you develop a feeling, a thinking, a thought that it makes you feel like you can't provide for your family every time when your partner asks you about your job application situation, like how you're going with it. Every time she asks you about this, and you feel upset about this because that's how you feel like you're not providing for the family, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's the thought you have out of this argument with your partner.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, right. So I mean, what you are experiencing right now is I'll acknowledge it. Of course, it's totally legit and understandable that you're feeling right now. I guess you are under a lot of stress right now and a lot of things going on with the job application and everything. And so let's just focus on the thoughts you have right now, which is you feel like you're not able to provide for the family. And then is that potentially a source of your unhappiness? Because the fact that you feel like you can't provide for the family and then you feel unhappy about this. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, that is actually correct.
Okay. Well, how about based on what you told me, and I'm not trying to change anything that from what you think, but how about alternatively, the reason why your partner repeatedly asked you about your job application is not necessarily she's trying to make you feel like you can't provide for the family. That's what you thought. But then alternatively, could that be the case? Would that be a sign of her caring for you? Because when she asked, because obviously she's your partner and she cares about you, and every time like you said, when you came back home, she started asking you these questions, and could that be a sign of her caring for you? Because she asked you how you're going with your job application, and obviously that's the main thing you are dealing with right now, which is finding a new job. And of course that every time when you go home, she will ask you about this. Could that be a sign of her caring for you? Because that's how she show her support to you, instead of trying to make you feel like you're not providing for the family. That probably could not necessarily be her intention, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that
Yeah. So I guess in this situation, it just could be a sign of her caring for you, and um, you don't necessarily need to feel that she's just trying to make you feel like you're not providing for the family, and yeah, you might be able to take it as a sign of her caring for you, but of course, yeah. So how do you feel about this?
I never thought of it that way, and that's one of the reasons why like I started having arguments as well. But
Right.
now that you said it, I just realized that
Yeah.
that could be one of the reasons why she constantly asks me about it as well.
Yep, of course. I'm glad that you also agree with this this alternative point of view into this the situation. But I also guess it's quite important that you talk to your partner just to find out about what exactly she means. What I suggested could be one of the alternative point of view, and her intention. That could be her intention. But the bottom line is, when you come back home, and you can talk to her about this and see, again, she might be just trying to help you, because you also asked. She's not trying to upset you, but you mentioned that she offered to ask her friend to see if their friends will be able to help you to find a job as well, because you might have friends out there who have the resources and who will be able to secure a job for you potentially. And she asked you about this, and that could be a sign of her supporting you. So instead of trying to upsetting you, or instead of trying to make you feel like you're not providing for the family. So I think, yeah, it could be very possible that she's just caring for you.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm really happy that we are engaging in this conversation, and it's very encouraging that we are engaging in conversation pretty well, because you do actually open up yourself, and you talk to me about your feelings right now, and potentially the reasons. We analyze the reasons behind your feelings and everything, which is very good, very helpful to our section, to be honest. And I think we are collaborating pretty well so far.
Yeah,
that's good. Next thing I want to do is that, how about we, if you can fill out a form. So I got a form here, which is the closeness circle. Basically what this form does is to try to help me and to identify your relationship between yourself and everybody around you. So it could be anybody in your life, and if you can fill it out for me and help me to identify who your closest persons are.
Yeah.
Take your time to fill out. Thank you. Let's just take a look on this one. So based on what I can see, is the closest person you identify in your personal life is your partner.
That's right.
Okay, so and then the second important people in your life, in your personal life, would be your family members, other than your partner, and the third important group of people you identify are your high school friends.
Right.
Yeah. So would you be able to elaborate a little bit more, like how do you interact between your partner, between your family members, and between your friends? What do you do with them? How do you interact?
So basically, with my partner, I talk to her about everything, like all of my personal feelings, everything that I have in my mind, and I basically convey everything to her and talk to her about it.
Yep.
With my family, I talk to them about my days and how my day went and everything, but I don't talk to them about my personal feelings.
Okay.
But with my friends, I don't talk to them about my problems at all, because I just want to hang out with them to forget about the stress and just enjoy and have a good time. So yeah.
Right, I see. So in this kind of difficult situation for you going through right now, I think it will be, and I think you will agree that it's quite important to reach out to your close one, right? Like to your partner, to your family members, and to your high school friends. You know, these are the closest persons in your life, and what you're going through right now is, you know, certainly is quite difficult. And I guess it would be helpful if you reach out to your to your close ones. To your partner, you said there's nothing hiding between the two of you, so potentially what you can do might be that you can just start sharing your feelings, how to feel about the whole situation, your feeling, your thoughts, and you can share everything with your partner, you said. So yeah, so I think potentially that's what you can do to speak to your partner and be open. And to your family members, what do you think? What do you think you can do with your family members in this difficult situation? Would you be able to open up yourself to talk about the situation you're dealing with right now to your family members?
Well, I guess talking to them about my feelings would be really good as well.
Okay.
Like,
right. Okay. So yeah, so potentially if you feel happy, as long as you feel comfortable, and if you talk to your family, just keep it going. You know, keep the conversation going. Be open to your family members as well, and to engage more conversation with them and talk about it, your feeling. And you said if you're happy to do it, then yeah, give it a go. And I'm pretty positive that will potentially improve your well-being as well, because you're engaging in the conversation. You're trying to sort of improve your interpersonal relationship, you know, in your life. That's good. And in terms of your high school friends, well, since you said you don't necessarily talk about anything too personal to your high school friends, you don't talk about your feelings. But then in this case, you said you do hang out with them for fun.
that's good.
And that's the fun part about having friends, obviously. So potentially, just, you know, do reach out. I guess potentially you can still reach out to your friends and talk, like hang out with them, have fun, do whatever you guys want to do, and just to keep all of you guys happy. And yeah, you know, during this, even if this is the difficult situation right now, you can still do it, to hang out with a friend on a regular basis. Okay, that's cool. So I think we have made a very positive change in our section so far. So the next thing, before we leave our conversation here, is that I will give you a few tasks to work on today as a homework. But these are very straightforward tasks, it's nothing complicated. So the first one is, how about if you start writing journal? So, you know, you can start writing journal, recording what's going on your day, you know, how you feel about it, your thoughts and your perspective on it. Just write it down, you know, just like, it's one of the ways that you can potentially express yourself. So if you can start writing journal, potentially that could be very helpful to, in a way, to improve your well-being as well in this difficult time. So yeah, and then there's no limit or anything. It's quite flexible for your journal. You can write it every day, every couple of days, or every week, depending on how you want to do it, you know. And it's perfectly fine as long as you do it on a regular basis. So do you feel like you want to write a journal?
Yeah, I would like to.
That's cool. Also, second one would be, do you exercise regularly?
No, not really.
Okay, that's fine. We all know exercise could be very helpful to us in terms of improving our physical and mental well-being. So potentially the second task, what I'm gonna try to ask you to do is to go out exercise regularly. Like for example, myself, I go out exercise, I ride bicycles a lot, like crazy, and sometimes a little bit too much. But hey, it's a good way. This is how I have fun, and this is how I practice self-care for myself. So, and it does definitely helps if you go out exercise, engage. Yeah. So you can start with a low volume. You don't have to push yourself too hard. You know, just keep it going, keep on doing it, and you know, go out for a walk, go out for a hike, you know, and go out for cycling or whatever. It's all very fun thing to do, and I reckon it's going to help to improve the well-being as well. So do you feel like you want to do that as well?
Yeah, I can do that.
That's cool. And the third one would be that potentially you can also, take a deep breath. Sometimes when you feel like a bit stressed or a bit unhappy, a bit upset, take a deep breath and see whether that helps you, and see whether that works. You can keep it. You can write it down to your journal as well as part of your the routine. So yeah, these are the three main tasks that I wish you can work on after today's section. Do you feel like you're okay with that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, that's good, Suyash. Do you have so that's what we have gone through so far, and I will leave it as it is for today. Do you have any more questions for today's section?
No, not really.
Okay, that's cool. Keep in touch, and we can discuss more in our next session.
Yeah.
Thanks,
you.
Suyash.
Thanks a lot.
See ya.
See you.